Get ready to rumble!
Yeah! Everybody, that was a little early. I'm sorry. But there we go. I thought maybe there was like a play.
Well, we're kind of late, so it works out. Hey, everybody. Welcome.
Oh, countdown. That's okay. Wing hugs. That's right, wing hugs. Nice, so we got, so how's everybody doing tonight? Tonight is our Rumble review. We are going to be reviewing the Titanic. Well, not, hang on. This is the James Cameron Rumble review.
That's right.
We're
reviewing
checking
James
out
Cameron.
three.
He's the guy that did the Terminator.
That's right. We're doing 3 of his movies. Titanic. Are you punching her, or is that supposed to be like a fist bump? I think you're supposed to fist bump.
Because in the last show, we were kind of like bickering a little bit.
Always.
So, anyways, so we got the Titanic, then we got True Lies, and then we're gonna do Avatar last. Did you watch the Titanic? What did you think about it? How did you feel about it? Stuff like that.
And also remember, it's about
Go
James
for it.
Cameron mainly.
Yes.
And how he did.
Movie, how he filmed the
Oh, I'm not
And I'm
that.
starting the time now.
Just get deeper.
All right. I
Ready?
really like
Go.
the story about everything, actually. My mom came over on the boat to America, so I kind of took it as the same thing.
I thought he was going to say his mom was on the Titanic.
I thought that too.
You
Look,
know,
I'm so
that's
sorry.
something I thought.
Some people did live, you know.
That's true.
That's true.
But yeah, I thought it was cool, and I like how they kind of started with him like as a boy, but then he seemed like older towards the end. So that was a thing that always stuck in my head. I like the kind of love story between the two. It was all fun stuff like kids do,
Like
dating, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Young love.
yeah, I just loved watching everything that happened with the boat and just how they lived while they were on the boat. Then-
Society and the low-level society very well. The high rollers looking down upon the commoners. We see world differences through the eyes of Rose when she sees how suffocating the high society can be. And literally when she puts on her corset in one scene, and then the freedom she experiences with the character Jack by dancing the dancing scene on the lower levels with the low class. She sees that she is more free and happier kind of on the lower decks than into the higher realms. So the two characters learn from each other, but I think Rose learns probably more from Jack. Jack learns from her. Jack knows the world is cruel and will eat you alive and spit you out if you're part of the lower echelon of society. Whereas she lives in a more kind of fantasy world where she gets everything she wants, but knows there must be more to life than how she lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned that that this James Cameron movie at the time, James Cameron was really big into shipwrecks. So this led him to do this movie. So I call it a star-crossed lover's tale residing on the unsinkable ship of the Titanic film.
Right.
So,
That was deep. Is this the stuff you think about when you're in your meat locker?
yes. Yes. When I'm reviewing films, yes.
The place in cinema where anything goes. I mean, things that were rated R back in the day are now PG-13. So it's all that kind of stuff. But when I watched the movie, I skipped over that scene because even though
Bill.
right,
The boat sinks.
yeah.
That's right, Josh.
Wait,
That's
what?
what happens to Titanic. What? Wait a minute.
Whitey's like, I fell asleep at the wrong time.
Yeah. No, I just kept rewatching that part with her. I never made it to the end.
Is that why you became an artist?
20 years later. I'm still watching it.
You never got to the end. But
with
Yeah,
hand on the window.
I can't say it's like my favorite. It's weird because this is actually listed on the internet as an epic action romance. And I'm like, an action romance? Just because people were screaming at the end of it and dying? I would not make that an action
running
film.
away from water, running to water, running away from water. That's awesome action right there.
Yeah, so I find that to be a misnomer. Like, that's...
The water didn't get put on trial. What's up with that?
Kaylee D!
No.
What's up?
But,
Because he was drawing her.
she was drawing her and she was naked. Yeah. Draw me like one of your French girls. Why they gotta be French?
That's his
That
muse.
was it, right?
That's his muse.
Yeah, that was,
Was that it?
It wasn't really that.
They never did have sex, did they?
They did in the carriage.
In the car.
But
the
you don't
car.
see
Remember the
anything.
car?
See the hands?
Yeah,
Except for
don't see anything.
the windows
Yeah,
fog
I
up
don't
and-
remember that part.
Yeah, the windows fogged up. Her hands hit the window, and it goes.
And all I could think about were streaks. Now somebody's got to clean that. But anyway, no, this is not to
Especially
end.
when they find a footprint of
Time's up. James Cameron did a decent job in this movie. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite movie. Some of the acting was not there. There's some scenes where it looks like maybe they only did a one shot and said, okay, let's keep moving on, and didn't fix the acting parts. And so that kind of disturbed me, because it's James Cameron. It's supposed to be like this really expensive movie, and we got Leonardo DiCaprio, and he's supposed to be like, back then he was the youngest, prettiest, best
The
actor
dreamboat.
back then. Yeah, he was
Oh,
the
yeah.
dreamy guy.
Oh,
He's the
Leo.
awesome
Yeah.
actor. But there's parts where he just doesn't hit the high points of acting. It's just kind of, there's some parts he does great, and then there's some parts he's just like
Yeah.
flat.
How old was he
And,
during this time though?
He looks like he was 15, to be honest. But I don't know.
Well,
He
yeah.
must have been 18, maybe. I have no idea how old he was.
Oh.
If anybody knows that, look it up for us and let us know.
His best film was What's Eating Gilbert Grapes.
Woo! Are you ready? Go! Three thumbs sideways, one thumb up. James,
like
we lose. We win.
I lose.
That's pretty good.
Wait, Whitey, you shared your opinion and you lost.
He leaves. He leaves.
Don't leave. Bye.
Okay.
Do it. Do it, do some more.
Right. So this movie,
Oh, ding, ding.
I had what?
I said go, ding ding.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So this movie, I think it's great fun. Like, it's funny, I was talking to my parents the other day, and I was telling them what movies we were going to be reviewing, and I mentioned True Lies. They're like, oh, it's a good movie. They're like, there's some things in there, but I like that movie, and my dad was saying that it's a really good movie, even though none of it makes sense. Like, it's not realistic in any kind of way. And I was like,
It's a fun
that's what's
movie.
great. That was really great about, like, 90s and 80s movies, too. Like, a lot of the plots didn't really have any basis of realism. Really,
Right.
necessarily. Like, it just kind of expounded on real life things in a really extreme and bizarre kind of way, and I think that's what makes the movie so great. So this movie, I mean, yeah, it is quite extreme and exaggerated in so many ways, but in a fun way, and this is definitely like an action comedy film for sure.
Definitely.
Arnold Schwarzenegger does a great job, and Jamie Lee Curtis, wow. I mean, she was very impressive in this movie of having almost like two different personalities. And
I'm not going into a lot of detail.
Right.
Like, that's why.
well, you only have 3
This
minutes,
movie,
so you can't.
I only knew the do some old part that I remember.
Right.
Dan, you got 1:50 left.
Sorry, Dan. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I mean,
Sorry,
Payback,
Joe.
baby. Payback.
True Lies.
How's it feel
Um,
there?
True Lies was a decent movie. I when you guys talked about it, I was like, when you guys talked about it, I thought about it. So yes, it was a good movie. Not one of my favorites, but I like Terminator better. But
We are not allowed to talk about that.
I know. I'm just
Tabitha
saying,
said.
it is another James Cameron movie, but yes, we're not talking about it. So yes, 3 seconds left. Anonymous goes 3 seconds.
Got a minute 6.
Okay, minute 6. That's it. So I won't say much. I'm just gonna say it was a decent movie. Not my favorite, or else I would remember a lot more. But I did because
How I
I
feel
watched
about
it more
people.
often.
Well, if you watched it, you might have thought differently.
Right, yeah, that's true.
How about
That's
when he
true.
was like sliding with the skis and then he like flipped backwards and was shooting?
It was the
That
car
was great.
salesman one that I thought was the funniest. I see you.
You have to fight for your woman. And
Yeah.
I loved everything about it, and the whole thing about the people destroying their planet just for materials and stuff got to me, and that was kind of like the first time it really hit me like that. So was it a tree hugger movie? Probably yes, but it made me think a different way. And I have to say that I kind of changed a little bit after that movie, and I think that was his plan.
Just for you.
You know? Yeah.
He did it just for you, Whitey.
Just to get it to not be political anymore.
And
You know what I
3
mean?
minutes.
Josh, I think it's
That's
gonna be
good.
5. I think it's 5 or 6 movies.
Yeah, the
that
next
play.
one comes out this year.
Go for it.
Oh, sorry,
I
time's up.
love when they brought Sigourney Weaver, where she actually turned into one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she was
Sigourney
sick.
Weaver's in the movie. That's right.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. It's
I
a great
love it.
cast.
and how they made them look
Yeah.
like the
And
character.
do you guys remember what they said that the ICU means or something like that? Like when you say ICU, it's something
Yeah.
more deeper than.
It's deeper.
Like,
It's
more
more of
like-
like I relate to you, I acknowledge you, I accept you,
Yeah.
I respect you. It's more than just being able to physically see you. It's more about I
Right.
acknowledge your existence and I respect you.
Who
Right.
said that again?
Well, that's kind of like their code or whatever, like that. Their
their
motto
code,
thing
yeah.
among the Oh darn! I can't think of
Indigenous people,
the. Yeah, but I can't think of the name.
but they always call them indigenous people.
No,
the
they have a
indigenous-
the Navi.
Yeah, nah.
That's it.
The Navi.
Legend of Zelda.
Right.
What's up, Mom? How you doing?
Hi,
Welcome.
Mom.
Hello.
How you doing, Mom?
Good thing she wasn't here earlier.
James Cameron, I mean, love him or hate him, I mean, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
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 He's one of those
Agreed.
directors that stand out, definitely. And Steven Spielberg
Definitely.
is another one like that. I mean, they definitely know what they're doing with their audience. Those are two main ones in today's world, I think. They're not bought and paid for by the money changers, if I can say that.
Yeah.
You know?
The way it
So-
is now, yeah.
Yeah. And I saw this, I was working at Sony when this came out. So when it came out on Blu-ray, it was featured in all, the TV room like 24/7. So I know this movie very well. I saw it so many times, I didn't really have to rewatch this film because of watching it a billion times at Sony.
Nice.
So-
That's cool.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the story just because, yes, of course, you can pick it apart and say it's definitely like Pocahontas and John Smith and things like that, but it was like a brand new take on all of those old stories, if I might
Right.
say, just in such a dynamic way. The color schemes, the choice of actors, the dialogue, the story plot. I mean, we've got corporate greed. We do have a little bit of what you might consider the tree hugging thing, even though it's kind of a shame to really dub it tree hugging, because tree hugging, you know, it's usually people that are a little bit too in love with nature that it's almost to an unrealistic expectation, where it's like we're just bad because we step on weeds. Whereas this was a huge part of their culture in order for them to exist. And not only that, the
Right.
trees, especially the Ewa, was their deity essentially. And the
Right.
idea that tree connected almost in a technological way to the other trees,
Yeah.
like a nervous system.
No, but like there's just some parts that just don't you know just don't make it. You know, like the computer.
Wrong.
You know, but there are some parts of the same exact like animal or whatever. It looks perfectly normal. It looks awesome. It looks photorealistic. And then in some parts it just doesn't. You know, I think they just need to go back, take some more time out, and fix them up a little bit.
What about the flying things? Do you like them?
Those were cool. Yeah, they were kind of like dragon-y type.
Yeah, they were very
I
unique.
How to Train Your Dragon.
How do you train your dragon?
And then that big one.
Yeah, the big one's got like a mohawk and a chin hawk.
Oh
Yeah.
I wasn't
Crazy
expecting that.
man.
Whitey, I want you in the next
could've
film. He better follow
I
Can you imagine me all blue?
you. Yeah.
Right?
Whitey
Yeah,
could do
totally.
some
Yeah.
voice work for the animals.
Yes.